How's everybody doing out there? This is my C10 here, and we're a few weeks later on down the road here. But I finally located a control arm for the lower passenger side of my C10 here. And as you can see, I've already got this removed. And that's where it broke, right there. So that's why we're replacing it. But I had to get a used one because you can't get these hardly anywhere. At least at the time. I got this one about, I don't know, a week or two ago. And then I couldn't locate a reproduction. So I was going to try to buy a reproduction, but I couldn't get it. But I think what caused this mainly, I'm not really blaming the manufacturer on this. I'm actually, a lot of it I'm kind of blaming on myself, because this truck had a fender bender. You have to look back at my previous videos, but got to a little fender bender, and I'm not sure, maybe when my truck was going this way, and then basically fell asleep at the wheel, and I was going this way, and I was trying to turn left, but I was coming, and there's a stop sign there, and then basically halfway asleep I hit the brakes and slammed, and I slid, and then spun around, and then the stop sign was like right in here and smacked up against it. That's what caused this. I had to actually cut that little section of the fender out there. I did that, so my door would open up all the way. But this fender was junk anyway, because it's all rotted out to pieces at the bottom, obviously, and at the front. So we're not, hurting nothing on there. The fender was trash anyway. The whole front end on this truck is junk. The hood is savable, but everything else is about the hood and the radiator support, and probably that bumper, about the only things that are actually worth anything on the front end on this thing. That door is about perfect. It didn't get the door, thank God. It nicked the paint a little bit, but it didn't get it. So got lucky on that. I got that door from a junkyard, probably about, about 3 or 4 years ago. I ended up getting this passenger side from, I think I got that from Harrisonburg. Yeah, I got that, and it's real cheap. It's like 75 bucks. Somebody had it on Craigslist. I ended up buying it, throwing that on here, but that door's pretty much junk. It's rotted all to pieces. I ended up pulling off a truck that was rear-ended, and I think what happened is it pushed everything back, because when I went to mount this door on here, everything where the hinges bolt were basically crushed and pushed back. So that's why I got this big old gap right here. And I've tried to get that right, but it's not. And I ended up actually taking a body hammer and hammering a lot of that out inside the door, because it was crushed back. So eventually I had to get another door for it. Long story short, we just about got everything. I actually do have everything to replace this control arm here. And this is off of 67, which doesn't matter. The only really difference I can see is it had a sway bar on it. We're not going to use that. So we'll probably take in, we could leave it on. It's really not going to hurt nothing, but I'll come back later on and probably get a cut-off wheel and cut these 2 bolts out here and just pull it off. But our control arm, our extra shaft, control arm shaft here feels good. It's nice and tight, smooth. It doesn't feel like it's got slop in it. Our bushings look okay, which really, honestly, I really don't even call them bushings. All they are is like a grease seal. They're kind of like a wheel seal, more or less. They look okay. This one got torn a little bit, but that's all they really are. They just protect it. They're not really a bushing. They're just more or less a seal to keep dirt and everything out. These really don't have bushings, you would say, on these control arms. But anyway, I can't really tell much difference in it, but it's from a 67, so it looks the same. I really kicked myself for not keeping the original control arms for this truck. I ended up scrapping them like an idiot, and I didn't realize how hard they are to find. The square bodies at 73 on up are very easy to get. I mean, I could have got one of them within like a couple days, but this one took forever to locate. I ended up getting it off eBay. I found it on eBay for 80 bucks, so we're going to run it. I'm going to clean it up and probably If I had a sandblaster, I would sandblast it, but I don't have no way to do that, so I'm gonna get a wire wheel and just clean it up as really good as I can, and probably throw a coat of paint on it and let it go. Our ball joint, of course, this ain't the original ball joint, go figure, but that's of course no good. So that's no good, but that's okay. We're going to replace that anyway. I went ahead and I've inspected it really good. I don't see anything. I looked down at our shock mounts here, made sure no welds are broke or anything, or nothing's bent. So all that looks good. It's not worn through down in here. It's just got surface rust, so that'll clean up. Bottom of it looks okay. So I don't see any cracks or any wear or anything up here where the ball joint presses in. So I think we're going to be good to go. So that's my only holdback now, pretty much, is I'm going to have to get a press, because I don't have a press. And last time I did this, because these control arms do not come with the ball joints pressed in them. You have to end up buying them separate. Well, at least in 2017 they didn't. I think you can get them with them pressed in now, which makes it so much simpler. You can just bolt everything up and go on down the road. You ain't really got to fool with anything. But in this case, we're going to have to get this ball joint out and get the new one in, which I already have the new one. But one option I got is I could take it. I mean, I could go up to AutoZone and rent the tool to press it out and press our new one in, but I prefer not to do that, because I'm going to be doing this stuff kind of probably quite often. So I'm going to probably end up just breaking down and just going up maybe Harbor Freight, and really don't want to buy something kind of heavy duty there, but we'll try it out. I'm going to get the heaviest duty press they got, and then we'll press that out and press our new one in, because I don't know anybody that around here I could trust enough to press it in, because I'd be worried that they, you know, pressing in crooked or not square, and then they screw up my control arm, and there we go, I'm out $80. But because that's what almost happened to the original that was on here. I actually got it, and then I went to press the ball joint in, and then ended up doing crooked, and I ruined the inside of this, and I had to throw away the whole original control arm because of that, which really it could have been fixed, because I think you can get them oversized. But anyways, just dumb stuff like that. But we got our control arm, and I'm gonna have to save up, so it's still gonna be down probably another week or two before I get the money to break down and get it pressed, to get our ball joint pressed in. And then I mean, other than that, that's really the only hold up now. But I got all new parts here. We're going to replace everything except for our coil spring. Our coil spring's fine, it didn't hurt that. But we're replacing, this is our lower ball joint here, which it was actually still tight. But I mean, I could have pressed it out and reused it, but I'm not going to do that. I'm replacing the tie rods, because I'm not sure if it twisted them or anything. I mean, I'm sure they're perfectly fine, but when it broke, you know, my wheel is crooked like that, so I don't know if it bent anything. Don't know what it tore up. Our drag link looks okay. You know, I've went over it with a pretty fine tooth comb. I don't see anything that's, you know, tore up or nothing messed up looking. Got our shock a little bit, but it doesn't matter. We're going to replace these shocks, and then of course, previous video I checked our control arm and made sure there's no play in it, which is nice and smooth. So we're going to reuse this. This is the original. I didn't replace the upper control arms, thank God. I just replaced the upper ball joints. That was it, because the bushings had already been replaced. And the shafts, somebody had been in here and already replaced these quite a few years ago, but they're still tight. Ain't got no place, so I'm gonna let them ride. So they did that, but they didn't do the bottom one, so I don't understand why, but probably because there's more headaches. But anyway, that's the only thing we got left. We'll have to get our shock off here, and then we'll go on and we'll throw our new shock on while we got everything out of the way, and it's easy to get to. That way, when we install our control arm and everything, it'll be a lot simpler. But this is what I got. Everything from Rock Auto. I learned this from Jonathan W., so I'm going to give him some credit for it. So he gets all his brake parts and everything from there, and saves quite a bit of money. And it tells you a lot more specs about the parts too. But so we got new shocks here. These actually look like they're a little more heavier duty, so they weren't too expensive. I think they're, I don't know, don't remember. I think they're 25, 30 a pop, something like that. No, I think they're $20 a piece, 15 or 20, something like that. But I think they're definitely, they look like they're heavier duty. They're bigger in diameter compared to what I had on here, for sure. I mean, you can see that. Which that's a good thing, because I want something heavier duty on here anyway, because, you know, I'm not restoring this truck. This is actually a work truck. So, you know, I use this especially with my, you know, my land and all that. You know, I need this, especially right now, really bad, because I need to move a bunch of car parts down here, and I'm getting ready to hopefully move my 10x10 and my 8x12 shed down here eventually. I'm hoping to do that this coming weekend, and now really hurting. I need a truck really bad, and that's the only darn thing that's holding me back is this ball joint now. So I don't have a way to press that out and press that new one in. And I thought about taking and you know, I was considering, well, you know, you could knock it out with a sledgehammer if you're careful with it. And then I thought about bolting it up and putting everything back together and throwing the new one in, and maybe throwing a jack up underneath of it, and maybe that would press it in. Use the weight of the truck to press it in. But I prefer not to do that, because I don't want to screw it up. So I'm gonna do it the right way. I'm just going to break down and get a press, do it myself, because I plan on doing this a lot anyway. Plus my Etzel, it needs ball joints. It's on over there. So this ain't going to be the first time or the last time I'll do it. But we got new tie rods here. I'll have to label them which side's in and which side's out. Got our tie rod sleeves here.